Hey everybody, welcome back to BigRedEDC. Well, here we are in the backyard again. It's time for another backyard review. Today we're going to be checking out the CRKT Ruger Windage. Now the Windage is one that was suggested by a few of you when I did my call for suggestions on knives that you would like to see me review, and I could use my affiliation with Smoky Mountain Knife Works to get these knives. So here we go. This is the Windage. As you can see there, the Windage has got a full aluminum handle scales, I should say. You do have stainless steel liners on it, kind of this gray, gunmetal gray kind of sort of color there. Now, when I did the unboxing, I was like, oh, there's thumb studs in a weird spot. Well, that is your pocket clip. And we will definitely be talking about that a little bit later. But as I said, full aluminum scales, stainless steel liners. You got your Ruger logo right there on the pivot. As you can see, it is a flipper. Nice rounded flipper tab. Jimping on the flipper tab is okay, we'll call it. It's definitely not overly aggressive, and it's kind of not really aggressive at all. I mean, it's to the point where honestly it really wouldn't make a difference if it was there or not, to me. So we'll check out our centering. Centering is not bad. Looks like it might be actually just off to this side over here, but just a hair. Just a hair. IKBS ball bearings pivot. As you can see there, it had a nice flips out very nicely. Good, really good action on the drop. A really, really nice action on this example of the Windage for sure. Lockup, even though it was off a little bit, your lockup is really solid. So that pivot is pretty much right where it needs to be. It's just off a little bit. You come to the blade, you've got a nice 8CR13 MOV blade there. Nice drop point and a nice swedge kind of across the top for, probably 2/3 of the spine there. So where it starts, there you go. You got your CRKT, your Ruger logos. On this side, you got your Windage. It definitely is a can onion design. There is your number, 2401. And then, of course, here you have your little IKBS ball bearing symbol. Choil is done pretty darn well. I mean, it's all right. Got enough relief there, set off from the plunge pretty nicely. You do have a slight bit of a ramp with some jimping on it. The jimping here is done very well, and for me, it's pretty much right in the exact spot that it needs to be. Definitely aids in the grip. Yeah, I'm digging that. Do have a bit of a stonewash on that blade. Kind of see there in the light. Really light, but it looks pretty nice. Overall profile of the knife, I really, really enjoy the overall profile of this knife. Some quick specs, you're looking at an overall length of just over 8 3/4 inches. The official length is 8.85. When I measured it, I pretty much got about 8 3/4, but that's all right. Your handle from end to end, pretty much right about 5 inches, which is pretty right about going to give you that 3 3/4 inch blade length. And your cutting edge, the way I measure, I mean, it's just shy of 3 3/4. So overall, it's a good sized knife. I mean, you're talking about nearly 9 inches of knife, which that's a good size. Now, grip length. From point to point where my thumbs are, I measure that at right about 4 inches. So in my 3 3/4 inch hand, that's what it's looking like. So you definitely got some room left over. I know some of my Friends with larger handed hands say they like it about 4 1/4 for a grip length, but this one's measuring right at about 4. So maybe a little bit small for them, but definitely plenty of room for me and plenty of room for someone with hands a little bit larger than mine. Now, like I said, the choil, you can get forward if you need to, but I mean, you have to be really careful because, I mean, the heel of that blade is right there. So you could always extend that choil a little bit, you know, if you're the home modder type, or knock down that corner, you know, whatever you might like to do. We're looking at a liner lock. What do we got there? I am seeing, I'm going to call it 40-ish% on the lockup. Access to the liner is very good. You have very good access to the liner, and you have the jimping there to assist you on that liner to get it open. So overall, not too bad. Now, the official weight they put out as 5.4. When I put it on my scale, it weighed out at about 5.5. So, you know, 0.1 between friends. That's not too bad. Now, we're going to talk about that pocket clip a little bit more. And I swear, guys, it's a really hard one to demonstrate. But as it sits in your pocket, you know, normally when you put a pocket clip in your pocket, the knife rides like this, correct? Well, this one, the knife is going to ride like this. So this is how I have it riding in my pocket when I was carrying it. Because if it rides like this, obviously it's leaving way too much of a profile. It's sticking out there, and it's just not really an optimum carry. So I had it laying in my pocket, this being in the back corner of my front pocket. So when I would reach down, and I found that you have to manipulate the pocket clip to get it out smoothly, because when it's coming out of your pocket, it has these bumps to go over. So it does kind of hang up in the pocket. So when I would reach down and pull it out of my pocket, this is what I would come up with. So I had to turn the knife over to deploy it. Now, I tried putting it in the front part of my pocket, riding like so. So when I pulled it out of the pocket, it was at least in the right position, but that was just I was not digging that. I was not digging having the knife ride in the front part of my pocket, because I'm so used to having it riding in the back corner of my pocket, as I think probably most of us are. I mean, I'm sure there's some that do like it riding in the front part of their pocket, which that's fine. That's personal preference. But for me, that just was not working. So, and I tried to put it in my pocket like this in the back part of the pocket. And so when I pulled it out, at least it was in the right position. Yeah, that just wasn't working for me either. So overall, guys, it is a really, really comfortable in hand. I get an excellent grip on it. There's no pocket clip on the side to even worry about hot spots. That is a plus, without a doubt. But guys, I am super digging the Windage, with the exception of that pocket clip. If that had a regular, you know, if your handle was up here and it had a regular pocket clip on it, guys, I would really be all over this knife. And with the exception of the pocket clip, it's a really, really good knife. But that pocket clip is so awkward to me. And I really tried to get used to the way this knife carried, and me personally, I just wasn't digging it. Now, could you just put it in your pocket and carry it in your pocket? Well, yeah, but at 5.5 ounces, that's a lot of weight in the bottom of your pocket. Now, do I have an issue carrying a knife that weighs that much? No, not really, if it has a pocket clip and I can ride it where I want it to ride. But in the bottom of my pocket, no, it's just too big. Yeah, that did not work for me. So I guess my overall assessment of the Windage is I really dig the knife overall, with the exception of the pocket clip and how it rides in the pocket. That's pretty much the way it rides in the pocket would make it a pretty hard no-go for me. I don't like saying that, but you know, it is. It's just definitely not something that I want to carry like that. It's just not. Great knife otherwise. I mean, the action is fantastic. The ergos are really good. I love the blade. I mean, even the handle. The handle's a little slick, but it's not bad. But it feels really, really comfortable in hand. So I guess for me, I wouldn't carry it in my pocket. I would have to carry it some other way. Like if I was, I would put this in a bag. I would put this knife in my truck. But for an EDC pocket carry knife, it's just a no-go for me, guys. It really is. Hate to say that. I'm sorry, Mr. Canned Onion. But yeah, just for me, it's not punching that ticket. It's a great user. I had no issues using it. It would have to be a bag, truck, some other carry other than in my pocket. So, but there you go, guys. That has been my review, my backyard review of the CRKT Ruger Windage. Always appreciate you guys checking them out with me, and I really appreciate, as I mentioned before, this knife comes from all of you using my affiliate link. Yes, I do get a percentage back, and I put that percentage right back into knives that you guys want to see reviews of. That just makes the most sense to me. So, thanks again, guys. Always appreciate it. Remember, like, subscribe, leave me that comment. You know I love talking to y'all. Until next time, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.